Hello everyone, Victor Tanzig here, and welcome to the Reddit Railway. Today's destination is r/JustNoMil, which is the third and final part to these videos. Links are in the description. Go watch them now if you haven't already. Otherwise, all aboard! Update 7. Daughter-in-law and future husband had their tasting and design appointment over the weekend. Mother-in-law called in the middle of it, and future husband left to handle her. Daughter-in-law started to angry cry, and I tried to comfort her. This is when I told her of this sub's existence. She was very amused that I wrote about her monster-in-law, as she put it. She said none of her friends believe anyone could be this insane. I gave her the link and said we are her people and will believe her. She not only gave me permission to continue writing about this, she even shared more details. The happy couple is having an Alice in Wonderland Tea Party themed wedding. They are having the ceremony and the wedding reception at a small park. Mother-in-law is desperate to have it at her church and has put a deposit on a hall for the reception. She is pushing for a religious ceremony and has invited people from her family and church the couple don't know. The cake they settled on is one of our more colorful, untraditional ones. They are having us decorate it with scenes from Alice in Wonderland and are using the Mad Hatter and Queen of Hearts as cake toppers. I saw the toppers. So cute. Their guest list is only 40 people, so they ordered a cake that serves 50. Mother-in-law keeps trying to change the cake to a 3-tier classic design. Since she doesn't actually know what the finished cake will look like, she keeps calling and saying she wants us to forget what was said before and do this instead. She wants it all classic white with edible beading and servings for 200 people. That is not a typo. The couple has a guest list of 40. The mother-in-law has added a full 160 people to it. While I was trying to comfort daughter-in-law, she informed me that mother-in-law was always traditional and stuffy, but went nuts after the engagement. She keeps leaving messages and showing up at their house uninvited. Future husband is waffling a lot because he feels stuck between two important women, and apparently he tried to get daughter-in-law to let his mother plan more of the wedding because his mum couldn't afford to have the wedding she wanted. I gently reminded her that this was her wedding, not her mother-in-law's, and she laughed. She apparently told future husband he could marry his mother if he was so keen on giving her the wedding she never had. She said she's getting really frustrated at both of them. The cake designer actually laughed at this and said his partner was a reformed mama's boy, so he sympathizes. I told her I also had a terrible future mother-in-law. Daughter-in-law said future husband is getting better at saying no, and she really appreciates how we are protecting the cake. Future husband came back looking angry, and the bitch session ended. We went back to details and flavors. At the end of the appointment, the daughter-in-law hugged us both. I quietly reassured her that the cake would be safe before they left. Daughter-in-law and I exchanged numbers and have texted a bit. Future husband is apparently developing a spine, and mother-in-law is not happy. And get this, in addition to trying to change the cake and find out appointment details, mother-in-law attempted to add 8 loaves of sourdough to the order. What the fuck, lady? Edit. Mother-in-law has been uninvited from the wedding. Daughter-in-law told future husband that if mother-in-law attends, she won't. He agreed. Daughter-in-law hired security to check IDs, and the two of them are going to accompany the cake when it is being delivered. She paid for this herself and told the security that only she, not future husband, can change the approval list. Update 8. My week has sucked. I got fired from one of my jobs and had a breakdown. My neighbor has taken to frying fish in the hallway for some unknown reason, and the smell invades my apartment. I'm broke, stressed, and sleep deprived. I ran out of Nutella and I'm PMSing. Basically, I am at my limit. So when crazy cake-obsessed Mill decided to act like a corn-studded turd, I ran out of patience. At about 5 this morning, Mill called. My co-worker was busy, so I answered, and we went through the same conversation we've been going through since the start. She hangs up. Around 8:30, she tries again. Then at around 10, we have the following conversation. Good morning, OP speaking. How can I? You again? Why are you always on the phone? I work here? Note, I am very tired and this confused me. I actually questioned if I was at the right job for a brief second. I want to speak to someone else. Give me someone in charge. My manager isn't here, but I can have her call you. She hangs up. Well, fuck you too, lady. A little while later, I'm helping a customer when I notice my teenage coworker getting upset on the phone. Not the same one from my previous posts. She is 16 years old and new to counter work. This is her first job, so she hasn't had her soul sucked out yet. I figured she's dealing with an irritable customer and gestured to let her know I can take the call. She shakes her head at me and hangs up. More time passes. I overhear my teenage coworker getting upset on the phone again, so I pause and eavesdrop. She keeps repeating that she's sorry, but there's nothing she can do over the phone. A few seconds later, I can hear yelling through the phone, even though I'm several feet away. My coworker seems close to tears, so I grab the phone from her and listen. Guess who it is? Fucking girls are so unprofessional and unhelpful. You young people are awful. You're all too busy spreading your legs for your boyfriends on the computer to understand how to give good customer service. Now, are you going to fucking help me, or do I have to take my business elsewhere? I think it would be best if you did take your business elsewhere. What did you just say? Who is this? What happened to the other girl? I said I think it's best you take your business elsewhere. And my name is OP. I am the person you will be dealing with from now on, unless you would prefer to speak to my manager. You don't want my business? Not particularly, no. What? I want to speak to the other girl. You are a nasty, nasty woman. This is not how you treat people. I usually pride myself on my patience, but I snap and step out of bounds. Ma'am, I heard the way you were speaking to my coworker, and you should be ashamed of yourself. She is 16 years old, and since you seem incapable of being polite, it's best that you deal with an adult. From now on, your only interactions will be with the manager or me. She tries to argue, and I cut her off. You have also been told repeatedly that changes cannot be made over the phone. We do not make changes to wedding cakes over the phone, specifically to avoid what you are trying to do. If you have concerns about the cake, I suggest you discuss it with your son and future daughter-in-law, since it's their cake, not yours. You are not the customer. You are not allowed to make changes to their order. It will never happen. Now, is there anything unrelated to your son's wedding I can help you with? No. She hangs up and I call my manager right away and explain what happened. I was expecting to get in trouble, but she was fine with it. She said she'd be sure to tell the owner what happened and told me not to worry. I also sent a warning text to daughter-in-law. We've become sort of friends since her tasting and design appointment. I admitted I snapped at her mother-in-law. She knows for sure that she's been caught trying to change the cake again, and I apologized for any blowback. She replied she was sorry she missed it and joked she might want to hire me as one of her security guards for the wedding. Mother-in-law didn't call back during the rest of my shift. Seriously though, fuck this week. Update 9. Crazy Cake Lady has only called 5 times that I know of since I called her out on her bullshit. I answered twice and she hung up both times. My co-workers who answered the other times hung up on her as soon as they realized who it was. The bakery owner finally agreed to let us do this. After the cake tasting and design appointment, daughter-in-law and I became fast friends. We bonded over our shared love of fairy tales and the fact that we both had to deal with batshit mother-in-laws. I kept her updated on any calls from her mother-in-law, and she vented to me about wedding planning. A couple of days ago, she came into the bakery for coffee. She seemed upset, so I talked to her over my lunch hour. She told me her future husband has not only been asking her to re-invite his mother, but let her become more involved in the planning. She asked my advice, and I kind of evaded the question. Not because I didn't want to help, I just know I'm not the most unbiased person to ask due to my own experience with an ex and his psycho mother. Run, Forrest, run is not the most empathetic or helpful advice to give someone blinded by love. Instead of telling her to flee like Bambi from a forest fire, I told her to try to objectively look at her future and think about what she wanted in her relationship. Was she willing to sacrifice or compromise to maintain it? She thanked me, said she was going to think about it, and then talk to her future husband. Daughter-in-law called me a little while ago in tears. She ended things with future husband. She found out he was playing both sides. He was telling her he supported her decisions about his mother, while telling his mother he agreed daughter-in-law was being too controlling. Daughter-in-law and future husband argued, and he accused her of not understanding the importance of family to Greek women. He said he didn't want to get married if his mum couldn't attend. When she agreed that marriage was a mistake, he tried to backtrack and say he was bluffing, but she stuck to her guns. Everything is in her name, including their house, so she is staying with her sister while he moves back in with his mum. Daughter-in-law is coming tomorrow to make a few alterations to her cake. She said she is changing her wedding into a freedom of celebration. She's inviting all of the friends she had to cut from the guest list. It's going to be a bigger, more casual party, one that I'm invited to. She even increased the size of the cake. Edit 1. Daughter-in-law has friends helping her ex to get him to move out quicker and to prevent him from screwing with the house. She has her dogs with her, so he can't take them either. She already spoke to a lawyer about repossessing the car she lent him. She also changed the Netflix passcode because, in her words, fuck him if he thinks he can benefit off my sweat. Edit 2. I told daughter-in-law about the overwhelming support and response to these posts. She sends her thanks. She is still in the rage phase of the breakup, but is starting to feel sad and betrayed. Ex-future husband has also started with the manipulative bullshit to get her back. Apologies, begging, offers of counseling, claiming it was a misunderstanding. She hasn't fallen for any of it. Ex-future husband has moved out, and she was going to replace the locks on her house when she left the bakery this morning. Final update. Mother-in-law is a petty, malicious bitch. A few things she has done since the wedding was cancelled include 1. Called my manager and accused the chubby slut with the scar of ruining my wedding. Yes, she referred to it as her wedding. No, I did not get in trouble. 2. Stuffed flyers about the sins of homosexuality into the mail slot at the bakery. What the fuck? 3. Tried to place an order for her own wedding cake under her own name. We declined. 4. Stood in the parking lot screaming obscenities at the door until my manager called the police. She left before they arrived. 5. Stole daughter-in-law's garbage cans. Again, what the fuck? 6. Kicked over daughter-in-law's potted plants. 7. Tried and failed to kick over daughter-in-law's mailbox. 8. Poured an unknown substance on daughter-in-law's lawn. 9. Sent a letter to daughter-in-law's work accusing her of malpractice. She works in the medical field. 10. Posted a ton of statuses on social media about blood being thicker than water, revenge being a dish best served cold, and something about whores these days not understanding family values. She ended each post with, daughter-in-law should see this. 11. Left a note taped to daughter-in-law's door threatening to take her to court over the car that is in daughter-in-law's name because she paid for it. 12. Tried to enter daughter-in-law's house while she was at work. The keys didn't fit, so she tried to pry open the garage door. When that didn't work, she stole the garbage cans I mentioned earlier. Daughter-in-law saw all of this on her security footage. 13. Has left multiple voicemails on daughter-in-law's phone stating that she is willing to try to resolve things through her church if she will just learn her place. In case you were wondering where her fuckwit of an ex is, he is still trying to get daughter-in-law back. He has sent flowers to her work and has been emailing her constantly from a new account with promises he'll cut off his mother. She has not wavered once. He really screwed himself when he threatened to take her dogs away. He claims he only said it in desperation, but she gives no fucks. Jesus, tap dancing Christ. The daughter-in-law dodged a missile with this one. Her ex is a spineless, deceitful mama's boy, and the mother is completely insane. If that was only a sample of the things she's done since the wedding was cancelled, I hate to think what else she's been up to. I tell you what, the daughter-in-law and OP are absolute legends for how they handled this. Well done to the both of them, and best of luck to all involved. Except the mother and son, they can both rot. And with that, I'll end the video here. Thank you very much for watching, and have a good one.